If you've watched almost any amount of commercial television lately, you've probably seen this ad. It's for Nutella. A woman gives her family breakfast consisting of toasted bread products covered in Nutella and a little bit of fruit on the side. She's kind of upset that nobody thanked her for breakfast until she finds a drawn picture saying she's the best mom ever. This got me to thinking, would the best mom ever give her family Nutella for breakfast? Is Nutella part of a healthy breakfast? I know a lot of people swear Nutella is the best thing ever, and quite a few view it as a tastier replacement for peanut butter. So I came into the kitchen and asked myself, do you know, is Nutella comparable to peanut butter? Is it healthier or possibly worse for you? How the hell should I know? I am literally you. I know everything you know, so if you don't know the answer, I don't know the answer. Now leave me alone, I'm trying to figure out which is better for shaving, butter or olive oil. So today we are going to look at the nutritional facts as listed on the jars and figure out if one is better than the other or if they are actually interchangeable for a healthy diet. We're going to look at Nutella, Jif creamy peanut butter, and a third mystery food that will be revealed at the end. So it's only fair to start with the serving size. Thankfully, the serving size for each of these is 2 tablespoons. That means we don't have to adjust the listed nutrients. So calorie count. Food A has 190 calories and 2 tablespoons, and 130 of those coming from fat, while food B has 200 calories with 100 coming from fat, and food C has 140 calories with 50 coming from fat. So far they aren't that different, with the exception being food C, which is a bit lighter in overall calories, but not by a whole lot. Since we know the total calories from fat, we have an idea of what we're going to see next, but let's dive into the details. The total fat for food A is 16 grams, with 3.5 grams as saturated fats and nothing from trans fats. Food B, as you might guess, is less with 11 grams of total fat, 4 grams coming from saturated fats, and a goose egg in trans fats. So less total fat, but more saturated fat. Food C has a far less total, coming in at only 6 grams of fat, 1.5 grams from saturated fat, but also 1.5 grams from trans fats. The calories from fats and even total grams of fats would lead you to believe that food B and C are the healthier choices. But in fact, food B has a half a gram more of saturated fat than A, and food C, while much lower in fats, contains trans fats, which are known to raise your bad cholesterol, lower your good cholesterol, and can lead to heart disease and strokes. So for my money, the race is between food A and food B. Speaking of cholesterol, that's our next item on the list. Food A comes in with 0 milligrams, as does food C. Food B does have some, but it is listed as being less than 5 milligrams, which keeps it at a 0% of the daily recommended value. So while they aren't all even here, there's not much of a difference and really no discernible winner. After that, we have sodium, which can be the make or break category for some people. Food A weighs in with 140 milligrams or 6% of the daily recommended value for sodium. While this isn't a horrible thing, people with cause to watch their sodium intake might be better off avoiding it. Food B, meanwhile, has only 15 milligrams of sodium, or about 1% of the daily amount, which is much better. Food C, on the other hand, comes in between the two with 100 milligrams, or about 4% of the daily value. As far as sodium is concerned, Food B is the clear winner. And this brings us down to the box that most people pay attention to: carbs. Now understand that carbs aren't totally good or totally bad. It depends on what type of carbs you're eating. Dietary fiber is good for you, while sugar is not so good. That being said, let's take a look at the totals and breakdowns for our foods. Food A comes in at a respectable 8 grams of total carbs, with 2 grams coming from dietary fiber and 3 grams coming from sugar. That's not bad in my opinion, though diabetics may want to look for a better option. Food B comes in with a whopping 22 grams of total carbs, 1 gram as dietary fiber, and another 21 grams of sugar. This should be alarming to everyone. That is a lot of sugar for 2 tablespoons, and can throw a diabetic's blood sugar into dangerous levels. Food C comes in with 22 grams of total carbs, again with 1 gram as dietary fiber and only 20 grams of sugar. So 2 of our 3 foods is concerningly high in sugar for the serving size of 2 tablespoons. Finally, we come to protein, which is not as evenly spread as some of the others. Food A comes in with 7 grams, or 7% of the daily value. Food B has 2 grams, and Food C has no protein at all. With reaching the end of the basic nutrition for these foods, it looks to me like Food A is a pretty clear winner. But again, that's my opinion. The rest comes out with a no-score tie between the 3 as far as vitamin A and C, 2% calcium for Food A, and 4% calcium for Food B. Food A has 4% iron, while Food B has 6% iron. Food C has nothing in any of these. So the question comes up now, which of these foods was the Nutella? Which do you think it was? Well, it's actually Food B. The highest in sugar, trace amounts of cholesterol, some protein but not much, and the lowest in sodium. But what about the Jif peanut butter? Was it the comparable Food C or the better Food A? It was the better Food A. Higher in protein, much lower in sugar, but highest in sodium and total fats, though the saturated fats was actually lower than the Nutella. So, based on the nutrients, I personally would choose peanut butter, at least Jif Creamy, over Nutella every time. Now, I can already hear you asking, so what is the mystery Food C? What is lower in calories and sugar, but higher in sodium and trans fats than Nutella? Well, the answer to that is Duncan Hines Homestyle Creamy Chocolate Frosting. That is the reason that Nutella tastes so great on everything. It is not really hazelnut spread, but hazelnut flavored cake frosting. In some areas, the frosting is much worse, with 1.5 grams of trans fats, more sodium, and no protein at all. But realize that Nutella actually has a gram of sugar more than cake frosting for the same serving size. So as far as their commercial, I have to say that giving her family Nutella on toasted bread with a little bit of fruit for breakfast certainly does not make this woman the greatest mom ever. Now, I know being a mother is a hard and oftentimes thankless job, but part of being a parent is making sure that your family eats healthily. That in and of itself is a difficult task, but just because your family loves Nutella doesn't make it the best choice for breakfast. Jif Creamy Peanut Butter would be a much better choice, more protein, less saturated fats, less cholesterol, and a lot less sugar. In some ways, 2 tablespoons of chocolate cake frosting would actually be better. And that does it for our comparison between peanut butter and Nutella. And it comes time to ask, what do you think of the comparison? Were you one of those people who thought Nutella was a good replacement for peanut butter, or were you a little skeptical? If you use Nutella regularly, will knowing the nutritional facts change how much you use? I would love to know what you thought about the video. So please leave a comment down below, send us a tweet or a post on our Facebook page. As always, thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to prod the subscribe button down below so that you can stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see some crazy and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, for sure it's all funny. Everything's better with them. We're just
Send the annoying doctors to hell. That's the
So today we're going to do homemade hash browns. Now, of course, you have to start off with potato, and I've already rinsed this potato off and everything.